Wake up at Holiday Inn Express to a can't-miss breakfast that's free with every stay. Count on all the hot, fresh coffee you need and an incredible breakfast buffet that has something for everyone, like eggs, cinnamon rolls, and even hot, fresh pancakes with all the toppings you crave. Next time, do yourself a favor and stay at a Holiday Inn Express with a can't-miss breakfast that's free with every stay. So, when you wake up at Holiday Inn Express, you'll wake up happy. A part of IHG Hotels and Resorts.
My name is Terry Lynch. I'm with Oregon Ufology. I found myself searching for a passageway one day. And that passageway leads right across the complete section of the Cascades, which I'm sitting in front of at the moment. On top of Lime Peak. I want to make sure that everybody sees the type of things that we find in the process of research for ufology. I have located a couple that's sitting here on the top of Lime Peak. She's facing south. She's looking north.
The Middle, Cascadia Guides, a Let's production, in conjunction with Alien Strand Films.
While some physicists argue whether time travel is possible, theoretical physicist Carlo Rovelli thinks that time is in fact an illusion, and our reality is just a complex network of events into which we project sequences of past, present and future.
Amount of evidence for the reality of the Allagash abductions for any other subject, any mundane subject, in a court of law, you could hang a person probably, but because of the bizarre nature of the case, that's not going to happen. People aren't going to accept that evidence, although the evidence is there.
Welcome to this episode of Alien Strand Podcast. I'm your host, Don Ledesma, and welcome to today's show. So, it's been a long time for Terry and myself to be do UAP Weekly. I think we're number 7 already. Ooh, damn, we moved right along. So, we're going to be showing some cool videos tonight. As well, we're going to be showing some photos. Man, we got a lot of footage that came in here recently, even during the solar eclipse, everything that happened, and it's crazy how these things just come in daily now, right? Everybody's just reporting these things as they come in all the time now, which is awesome, right? Because that's what you're supposed to do, right? Report these as they come in. So if you guys don't forget, catch us on 26, 27 platforms. We're on YouTube right now. We're live on YouTube. We're live on X. We're live on X. We're live on, I think 7 platforms on Facebook. So we went ahead and we jumped back on Facebook just to see if they're going to flag us, man. Flag us. Come on, man. Stop that already. We're just trying to get the information out, and they're flagging us for this, for that, but it is what it is. And if they do, we're going to have to go to a different platform. We have a bunch, man. Don't worry. We have a bunch. You can actually catch us on Twitch. You can catch us on Rumble. You can catch us all over the place. We're not political or anything like that. We use as many social platforms as possible in order to get the word out. So we have Instagram. We have everything out there. We have Getter. We have Truth. We have everything that you'll find Alien Strand podcasts on. So it's just because we're trying to get as many platforms as we can, because Facebook isn't always the best thing to use because they shut everybody down. Now, they did this for a while, for about 3-4 months ago, to a lot of UAP, UFO groups out there, and groups and sites, man. They were hitting us left and right, and then they stopped. But I think they started again. So just be patient, with us and stuff. So don't forget, if you want to catch our Alien Strand right there, our extras on Patreon, follow us there. I just threw out a little small video the other day on Patreon. If you guys follow us, you get a lot of perks too. You get to watch a lot of these podcasts before they come out. Sometimes we have some exclusives that come in, podcasts that you don't even know about are on there, right? And it's $5 a month, but it all helps out. And as well, we start. Look at this, man. What do you see here? A bunch of Alien Strand podcast stickers. I give these out, and I will mail these out to Patreon subscribers and members. So if you're part of Patreon, we'll give you some stickers. We have more coming in. We'll have some T-shirts. We'll be giving a lot of stuff away on Patreon if you become a member. Those are the perks about being a part of Alien Strand. They're extras, okay? So don't forget, our new podcast is going to be coming up after this one, sometime during this week, or whatever's left of the week. We have, it's called The Hidden Secrets of Atlantis, with Mr. Dwayne Belcher. All right. So we're going to be talking about Atlantis, how it's around the United States, his hypothesis and a lot of things that are happening, where he thinks a lot of these lines connect. Okay. So we'll be having a nice conversation with Mr. Dwayne Belcher. Get ready for that one. That's going to be an awesome, awesome podcast. Also, don't forget The Middle. Catch us on Amazon Prime. You know it, man. You know it. It's out there, and it's traveling all over the place, man. So, we're on 7 countries already. We're live on 7 platforms already, but we've been inducted to 21. All right, so it's out there. $2.99, man. Can't miss it. On Amazon Prime, it's free on Tubi and TCL channel. If you watch it on TCL channel, give us a thumbs up. Tubi TV, give us a thumbs up, man. After you finish watching it, wait till it finishes, so that way you can put the thumbs up. A lot of these places won't let you do that, until then. So, don't forget, The Middle 2's coming up. C3, man, I've been working hard these past 4 days. I'm almost done with this movie. All right. So this is going to be coming out here in the next 3 weeks. Be prepared for this. It's going to be a great film for you guys to see. Three films. Okay. So it's going to be 3 films in one. Don't forget to check that out. Don't follow us. ASDP, Alien Strand Disclosure Project. We have one of the best ufologist programs out there. For if you want to be a learning ufologist, you want to be a part of ASDP, hit us up right here on ASDP Disclosure Project. You can't beat it with a stick, and you'll be part of us, man. You can't beat that with a stick, right? So you can represent your state and say you're an ASDP representative for Alien Strand Disclosure Project, right? So we have apps where you can actually take a lot of these UFO and Bigfoot and sightings and everything that comes into you in your state. You can actually take reports, and then you'll see it up on our websites, right? So those are the websites down there, ASDPUFO-.com or alienstrand.com. Go check it out. Those are our sister pages. Remember, if you have something you want to talk about and get off your chest, Alien Strand Hotline, 361-245-8000. Hit us up there, man. You can text me. A lot of times it might be a different time in your state or your country. Just make sure you can actually send a text there, and then I will reply back, pretty quickly. Okay. So, thank you guys for listening to me ramble just a little bit. I am going to get on Mr. Terry Lynch now, because you know what? This is ASDP. UAP Weekly. Hello, number 7. All right, so here we go.
Hello, everybody. Welcome from the middle.
Right on, brother. How you doing today?
I'm doing good. My computer's decided to do an update, so I'm doing this from my phone. So I want everybody to be ready for me to do another show from my phone in a couple weeks here, where, you know, how everybody always hears me say that I'm ASDP ufologist Terry Lynch from Oregon.
Yeah.
Well, I'm also the director of Oregon Ufology. And I have a whole team up here where we go out and we do research in the field. And my part with ASDP is that I am the director of research with ASDP. And my team and I, we like to go out and we like to investigate things in the field. Not many people probably realize that at this point because we've been doing a lot of podcasts.
Right.
But we go out to the scary places and we go sit out in the middle of a field with the cattle that have been mutilated. We're going to be going to a location where we meet up with investigator Chris Beard. He's with the Crook County Sheriff's Department. My team, everybody remembers Jonathan Mitchell and his son Mason Mitchell.
Yep.
Well, we're going to be bringing another individual out with us. He's going to be out there just packing cameras and making sure that I don't carry too much stuff. And he's also a crack shot if we need a crack shot. But, yeah, I wouldn't mess with this guy. He's bigger than me, and I'm a big guy. So yeah, this guy right here, he handles his own, and he's really looking forward to participating in this. So we're gonna get out there, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a live podcast out at that location with Mr. Ledesma here.
That's right.
And we're also going to be using some of my equipment, and we're going to be filming footage for the middle three while we're out there and we're doing the podcast. So this is going to be an interesting day. It's going to be an interesting night. A lot of coffee is going to be involved, maybe a few Red Bulls.
That's right.
And then we're gonna stay up all night. We're going to watch the skyline, and we're going to try and get some answers for the ranchers that are out there who've lost numerous cattle. Again, they've only got 8 reports, but there's hundreds of reports.
Right.
The 8 reports, what I'm talking about is what the local news has. And once we kind of establish some of the middle ground here, I'm going to try and get a little bit of conversation with some of the ranchers. Yeah. I'm going to try and get a lot of footage with the deputy. And then Donald and I had discussed that we're going to try and get some of the reports that have made it to the Sheriff's Department's office.
Yep.
And this should help enlighten people throughout the country. But at the same time, we're trying to get some answers for the ranchers that are out there, because losing cattle, that's money to them. This is what they do for their living. And it's like if you lose 4 or 5 cows out there, or steers, or whatever's been lost, that's more than buying a new automobile.
Right. Exactly.
They're very expensive to raise, and they're way more expensive just to lose for no reason.
Exactly. Well, I mean, speaking of, sightings, right? Let's talk about sightings. So the sightings that I'm going to show this video, right? Because I think everybody should see this, because we can all relate to it. It's in Spanish, but it's a funny spoof video of what happens to a person when they see a UFO and the time that they have to grab their camera and everything. So let's show that right now, so you guys can watch this right now. I found it hilarious for ufologists and people out there that are studying ufology. If you're out there studying, watch this and see if this is not you. So,
that's exactly right.
That's exactly right. He grabbed the cheapest phone, the flip phone that people have, like the Witcher-poo phones, I guess that's what they call them. And then he snaps a photo, and it's blurry and pixelated as hell, right? And that's basically what happens to everybody. You have your $1,000 camera right there, and then I mean, come on, has this ever happened to you, Gary?
Yes, absolutely. I've got a harness. This is kind of funny. I've got a harness that will carry a camera on this side of me, that'll carry a camera on this side of me, and then I've got my main camera that I'll be carrying around my neck, right?
Yeah.
Well, when you turn it on and all of a sudden you realize the lens cap is on, you drop that sucker and you reach for the next one. next one. And luckily for me, mine are all Nikon, so everything's going to be blurry.
All right. Wow.
But the reason I say that's because they have a magnetic field around them. It's really hard to get a good, clean, clear picture. But when you're in a hurry, you're okay. Let me explain it another way. You were starting the show tonight, right. And when you were starting the show, I'm sitting here watching my computer at 10%. Then it went to 20%, and I think right now it's at 34%. So I ran. You already had the show started, so I ran to my room and I went to get the little thing that holds my phone. Okay. Yeah. And then I had to take my Nikon D3200 off of the tripod that it's on. I had to take the little thing off of it that, you mount on for a quick release. And I had to mount it to the little thing. And then I hooked it to the tripod. And then after I hooked it to the tripod, I had to get it lined up to where you could at least see me sitting on a couch instead of my chair.
Yeah.
And there you were getting ready. The show was actually going. And I was going as fast as I could. What a good scenario to show what just happened to me a minute ago, just trying to be ready for the show.
I saw a lot of movement in the backstage video.
Oh, yeah, there was stuff flipping around.
You're squirming everywhere, but hey, it's all good. So hey, let's talk about the solar eclipse, the eclipse that just happened here a few days ago.
I had made some predictions about that, didn't I?
You sure as heck did. So you said, what did you say? You said, I bet you we're going to have some sightings, probably some UFOs on that day. And I've been seeing a lot here and there. Actually, a friend of mine caught it, but I forgot to put it on this thing here today. But it's okay. We have one, which is a pretty good one. It's floating out there on the internet. And
it's beautiful.
Yeah, look at that. How much more perfect can you get there?
Yeah.
It looks good to me. It looks really darn good. When you look at the distortion in the... See, me as a filmmaker, when I see a picture like this, I look at the distortion all the way around the whole photo. So when you're looking at the photo, especially the center one where you see the UFO a little bit bigger than the other photos, right? So when you look at the distortion around it, it's all even, right? So like I'm talking about the squares and everything. So even the distortion around the craft is a little more, it's almost blending in perfectly with everything there. So I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell now these days with AI and the freaking Photoshop and stuff like that. But and the craft to me looks like it's actually saucer shape, and it has your standard dome at the bottom, and it has a dome at the top, right? Like the old saucer shaped UFOs that you see out there that have those little balls underneath around it, right? Which is has magnetic flux tubes shooting down to the ground, correct?
Yeah, those would be amplifiers, is what they are. As we've been told through different experts, I would have to say that right there looks like your standard UFO, kind of like what we've got flipping around up in the top here in the corner.
Yeah.
Minus the actual ball that it goes down to the same type of point, but that looks exactly like that. That's there's like also 3 other spheres that are connected on the bottom, which I believe detach and come back, kind of like their own drone or whatever it is.
Right. And I saw a video of that today. It's a story of a man here in Texas. I think I told this story here on Alien Strand. He had this ball, right? That, he was a famous guy. He was a writer for Willie Nelson and all these other people. And he had this sphere, this metallic silver sphere. And he said a friend gave it to him. He went all the way to his ranch, and he says he had a pile of these in his yard. And the guy tells him, what are those? And he goes, yeah, you won't believe me if I told you, right? And he was like, what? Yeah, just try me. He goes, well, a UFO was hovering over my land, and it dropped a bunch of spheres and a bunch of these balls on my property, and then it took off. So he was a pile of them, and the guy says, do you like that? And the guy picked it up, right? And he goes, yeah, man, this is crazy. He goes, you can have it.
Wow.
And he gives it to him, right? The guy takes it. He's had it with him for 40 years, man. 40 years. So they made like a small documentary about it, and you know what he says, it shot him across the room one day. He was just like sitting laying on the floor watching TV. He put his bare feet on it and it shot him across the room like electrical hit.
Oh.
So he believes it's some kind of, thing that protects the saucer, which we're talking about here now. I mean, what is that where you get, what do you think about those spheres?
Well, I've seen a couple different, partial footage, or not just partial, but footage of, those spheres being dropped into the top of like a volcano, and then the craft take off, and then all of a sudden there's a massive eruption.
Right.
I've seen that. I've seen them drop them down into valleys, and they just kind of bounce down and kind of disappear off into the woods or wherever the location might be.
Right.
I've seen it happen. I've seen footage of those spheres dropping off into like I want to say the jungles of Peru. It may have been Ecuador. I'm not exactly sure, but I have seen this before, and I've seen the spheres, and where I'm located at, I see spheres moving past me.
Right.
Sometimes they're dark colored, sometimes they're illuminated. There's another thing I'd noticed is there's where ASTP ufologist Tino Gallegos is down there on the Estrella. You have a mix of the discs, you have a mix of the spheres, and then you have things that look almost like they're like a butterfly wing,
right,
but like rock.
Yeah.
Okay. But they're like made out of rock, and they don't flap. They
Right.
they just move right along. So like you take a picture of it, you would think it would be a butterfly. But I've seen the speed of these things as he's filming them, and they're moving along. He's actually got one. I think we have it in our first documentary where you can actually see the face of the being that's on that craft. And if not, I'll be more than happy to share it because I have it in my memory on my archive. I have an archive.
I don't think we put it on there. I can't remember. I don't think we did. Now, speaking of massive sightings, so
Go Ford for your next truck or SUV and find an easier way to buy with Woodhouse Ford today, and experience the convenience of buying with Woodhouse Ford. Save up to $13,000 off MSRP on a 2023 Ford F-150 XLT, plus 3.9% APR for 60 months with approved credit. $299 doc fee due at signing. Security deposit waived. Expires 1/02/2024.
Capture life's moments like never before with Rockbrook Camera, Nebraska and Western Iowa's premier camera store since 1975. Rockbrook Camera is not just about selling you a camera. It's about helping you become a real photographer, recording your life and sharing it with others. Today's cameras are faster, easier to use, capable of shooting stunning video, and with film photography making a comeback, there's never been a better time to dive into the world of photography. Rockbrook Camera goes as fast or as slow as you want to go. You can try before you buy with camera rentals, or give that older generation camera in the used department a whole new journey. Find Rockbrook Camera, 1 block south of 168th and West Center in Omaha, 70th and Pioneers in Lincoln, and at rockbrookcamera.com. That's rockbrookcamera.com. Discover or rediscover your love of photography today at Rockbrook Camera. Great photography begins here.
Go Ford for your next truck or SUV and find an easier way to buy with Woodhouse Ford today, and experience the convenience of buying with Woodhouse Ford. Save up to $13,000 off MSRP on a 2023 Ford F-150 XLT, plus 3.9% APR for 60 months with approved credit. $299 doc fee due at signing. Security deposit waived. Expires 1/02/2024.
I remember last week I made just a small little 20-minute video here on Facebook before I was flagged. So this one, it's in Texas, right? So I'm going to show this again. There's actually two videos. This one came out first, and then the next day, somebody else took the exact same video, but from a different angle. And, we'll talk about it. So here I'm going to show the first video first, and we'll go through the second one. Here we go.
Houston and I were just walking out of the woods. We've been deer hunting, and I have no idea what we just saw. Like, something flew.
Okay, hold on. Okay.
Generate its own fog and something crazy.
You know what's really weird? The bright light keeps coming back and forth. It's like it's almost moving a spotlight or something, you know what I mean?
Right.
And it's not changing course. And where are the strobes? Is it funny?
Well, you may not be able to see them. I didn't think it didn't seem to be that overcast.
No.
I got stars over here. Oh yeah, it's just holy moly! Did you see that? It made a giant smoke ring.
What the hell?
Dude, it made a giant smoke ring. I zoomed in on it, adjusted the contrast. You might see it better. Oddly, Chief's wife saw it a little later. It made a smoke ring, and then she said it booked across the sky. I have never, it's got to be like a helicopter or something. What the heck?
That was amazing, dude.
I've never seen anything like that. What the hell?
So that was the first one. That was awesome, right? That was a cool ass video. So
I've got something to say about that.
Go ahead.
Okay, so ever since I started doing this, my brothers and sisters, like your brothers and sisters, are doing, they've started letting me know about things that's been going on in their area. Well, that in particular one you just showed, I had no idea you were going to show that. My little sister Ava is in Greenville, Texas. Okay. That there was a video of that on some security camera that they had. That exact craft. I had analyzed it. I actually have I wish I'd have known this. I would have given you all my analyzing on this, because I did analyze it. I've got it up on ASTP, and I let everybody know that my little sister was the one that brought it to my attention in her location. Right. So I let her know that little puff of smoke that you saw there, it was lit up. It had all the characteristics of a Rosen bridge. So what was going on was it was opening up a portal for that craft to leave. And that's what was happening.
Wow. We have a Facebook user who says, looks like what I saw. So, it's, Ryan Keaton says, looks really similar to what I'm seeing here in San Antonio. Believe me, I went over a lot of Ryan Keaton's footage, and oh my God, you're going to see it in the middle, part 2, C3. It's going to be one of the first stories that come out on there. It's
a lot going on in Texas for sure.
Oh my God. Yeah. So let's show you the second video. And this is actually at the same time, but somebody else filmed it. So let's watch this.
Houston and I were just walking out of the woods. We've been deer hunting, and I have no idea what we just saw. Like, something flew across the sky, glowing, and I have no idea what it was. Check this out. Now, tell me what that was. I'm not one of those FUO, UFO, kind of guys. That was really weird. I told Houston, I think it's just a helicopter, but it was glowing around it. There's not a cloud in the sky, so it's not hazy. It's not foggy. If it was a helicopter with a bright light on it, I could see that.
What if there's aliens?
I don't know. That's not where I'm going with this, but I don't know where I am going with this, because I have no clue what that was. It definitely was not a big buck.
No.
We didn't get one of those.
That had a magnetic flux tube basket around it. You could clearly see the bands that were coming off of it from the top in the position it was moving in. You could see underneath it had the bands. That right there was a bona fide UFO. When I say UFO, I mean, I don't know what it is.
Right, exactly.
But I will say that I do know a little bit more about physics than the average person. Not that I'm a scientist, but that I do study lots of science. And it requires magnetic flux tubes for something like that to travel independently without jet propulsion. And it requires the ability to fall into its own pathway, which is what that was doing. And you see it distorting. You can see the bands of it. There were probably 5 or 6. Think Wi-Fi. Think what our Wi-Fi symbol looks like. Those bands right there is something you'll see. Now, sometimes you'll see underneath the craft where it looks like almost like fingers, and if the craft's going to move that way, you'll see the fingers go like this, and then they'll actually go the opposite way of that. You know, to where when you see it pushing this way, it'll push the craft the direction that the top is, and that's kind of what we're seeing here with this right here. You're seeing the bands that are around it, and that's a magnetic flux tube basket. That's what's holding that thing, holding it into what would be called a quantum locking position. And then when it starts to move, it's still in quantum lock. Okay, if you're doing a quantum levitation, you can turn the object in several different positions, but if you push it along the track, it's going to move around that track no matter what position it's being held in its suspension. So,
and the way it took off, like on the one video, you see it kind of shooting, it stops, and then it starts getting longer, right? Like the craft was getting longer, but then the smoke ring took off this way, and then it starts moving, right? So on the second video, you just see it traveling. I guess this is when actually he was at that different angle, I guess, on the other side, while the smoke ring blew out. He was like at the direct line of the smoke ring. So when it shot out, he would go out that way, and they were out there hunting, so I'm sure whatever they saw was strange indeed. But at the same time, this is what you and I preach all the time, everybody. Report your UFOs. Report your report your Bigfoot. Because why? So we can have these shows or these topic discussions and talk about exactly what happened on that day.
This is how disclosure works.
Exactly.
This is exactly how disclosure works. Now, again, I want to reiterate what you were just saying here. We don't just do UFO. Okay, we do paranormal. We try and handle things like Bigfoot. We have friends in Scotland that are looking for the Loch Ness Monster, Nessie. We have friends that are in England that are looking for ghosts. We have friends in USA doing the same thing. We have people that are, and what we're doing is we're trying to tie all of these things together because every one of these are the same mystery. They're all the same mystery.
Right.
This is what we're doing. We're trying to put together a database where people, get together, they share their stories, they find common ground with someone else that's had the same kind of experience. And when they have that experience, they don't have to feel like their mind's twisted anymore, because now there's somebody else out there that knows exactly what they're going through. And now there's 2 people that can talk about it, or there's 50 people that can talk about it. In our case, we have people in every country all around the world that are able to talk about it. And if you have a translation on your computer, your phone, or something like that, you can sit and talk with somebody from India that's having the same experience as somebody in Kentucky. I want to make sure that this, like I said, we got Tiberito Sanchez down in Mexico. He's one of those guys that watches the mountains and the volcanoes up there. He's got great footage of this stuff. Well, it turns out him and I have a lot in common. We both talk about the Rosen Bridge. We both see him going into the mountain. and neither one of us speak each other's language. But well, I kind of speak his language a little bit, and he kind of speaks mine just a little bit.
Well,
we can both get in a lot of trouble in each other's country for sure.
That's
trying
for sure.
to do it.
Yeah.
But,
let's break for a really quick commercial. We got 30 seconds. Give you time to everybody out there to grab your popcorn because we got some more to show you. We got some good stuff coming up. So let's go ahead and take this quick commercial break. All right, here we go.
All right.
All right, guys, that's my other company there, Leds Productions. Actually, we released like 3 music videos, 2 from my boy Osborne, my son, and then 1 from Annihilator, the metal band here out of Corpus Christi, Texas. So we got 3 music videos out there. You guys have anything you want? Give me a holler. All right. So anyhows, let's get back into more ufology. So we have this really cool picture, man. For people out there that love vintage photos, this is a great one right here. It's not too old, but it's right up the alley of what we like to see. So this photo was it's an original photo, like when they went to an actual photo mat, and they took this photo in Denver, Colorado in May of 1991. This was by Joe Clower, and he took this photo in his yard. So what we see here is a UFO kind of literally, hovering over his yard, over his home. Looks like about maybe 30 feet, maybe 40 feet above the home. That's kind of what I'm looking at here. What do you say, Terry?
It does look like it's about that height up. It looks kind of like our classic, like we were just looking at a moment ago during the eclipse. This looks like a good craft. I would like to. I think I'm going to go and take this later, and I'll do some analyzing with it. Maybe have Annabelle Quiones do a little bit of his magic and see what he's got to see, and definitely have Chris look at it. Chris Hamill from Australia.
Wow, it could have been one of those. I don't know if you kind of remember those little square cameras. They were like 110s. That's what they were called. It was like a long little square. But those things had a super fast shutter speed, right? So even if this thing was traveling or hovering, it actually did a great job. And I think that's what, to me, because of the quality of the photo, that's probably what he took the picture with, because I remember in 1991, I had one of those cameras and I used the heck out of it when I was a kid and a teenager, growing up in the 80s and 90s. And I always had it with me because they were inexpensive. The little cameras were cheap. They were like, I don't know, less than $10 back at the time. You can have it in your pocket, a little roll of film. You can buy a whole square thing of them, like 5 or 6 films, for $2, $3. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So and that's the way it was back in the day. Good days, good time.
I got a bunch of instant ones I just found that need to be developed.
Well, wow.
Yeah, I can't even believe I got them still.
So, yeah, this was a great catch, what he did, and somebody just put it out there on the internet, and we ended up showing it tonight. So, yeah, man, that was just a great, awesome catch.
You wouldn't believe this, but I'm sitting here watching my computer finally say, it's almost time.
It's almost time to turn it off.
I'm going to go over there right now. I'm going to try and turn my computer on to where we can log in, and I want to show off my brand new headphones and my brand new microphone that I've got set up for my setup here. I'm going to stay connected right here while we do that, and if you got other things to say, I'll be busy doing that for a moment. Okay?
Yeah, go ahead. So I wanted to talk about this. I want to show a triangular craft that somebody caught out there. You guys need to really, really see this. It's an awesome, video that's out there. So I wanted to show you. It came out on my feed maybe about 2 weeks ago. So check this out. Watch this. Is that an amazing video or what, man? I mean, you could see the blue thing spinning underneath. I've heard people. The last guy, what's his name? Travis. He was talking about there was a light underneath, and he could see it kind of spinning. And to me, it's Travis. He says that when he was a kid, he saw something spinning underneath. And when you see that video, that's pretty much what you're seeing right there, right? And then on top of that, it's a triangular TR3B kind of shape, and then it starts the orange light starts pulsating towards whoever's filming it, right? So it knows that it's being filmed. I mean, how many times do we have these podcasts, and when I'm talking to my guests, you know, they're all saying, you know, it like it knows I was watching it, right? And this video actually proves that, because it's actually showing the craft itself kind of reacting to the person, because it flashed that yellow or orange beam of light at them. So, you know, that's an amazing, you know, video to see. And I mean, what do you guys think about that? You know, let me know in the comments, you know, if you guys think that's a real TR3B. Is that an American made, or is it a government made? Is it human made, or do you think that it's a actual craft from, you know, an extraterrestrial, you know, strange, different kind of world, right? We always talk about that, you know, that our governments are the ones that are putting these things together, right? And they're the ones that have these TR3Bs, you know, and, you know, there's actually patents out there for these crafts that are out there. And we always trying to figure out who has seen one, an actual on the ground in an actual base, or, you know, actually touched one of these things that are man-made. You know, I would love to talk to that person, you know, and just to see just to pick their brain, because, you know, for somebody that has, you know, saw that, you know, or even experienced or even built it, right? Even if it's human made, I would like to talk to that person, that whoever built that craft, because it's silent, for one. Two, it's using some kind of energy at the very bottom to keep it going. It's got the 3 lights at the very end, which look like some kind of like generators, right? I'm thinking like generator, like Bob Lazar says, right? There's some kind of magnetic, you know, energy that's in there with the element 115, if they don't have it, or they haven't, you know, grabbed a hold of it already, right? It says it doesn't exist, but we know that element 115 has to exist, because they were using it on the crafts that Bob Lazar said that was out there. You know, it's kind of strange, you know, how they are in triangular shape, right? And then you see our B bombers, right? They're the same shape, right? So why make it that shape?
Capture life's moments like never before with Rockbrook Camera, Nebraska and Western Iowa's premier camera store since 1975. Rockbrook Camera is not just about selling you a camera. It's about helping you become a real photographer, recording your life and sharing it with others. Today's cameras are faster, easier to use, capable of shooting stunning video, and with film photography making a comeback, there's never been a better time to dive into the world of photography. Rockbrook Camera goes as fast or as slow as you want to go. You can try before you buy with camera rentals, or give that older generation camera in the used department a whole new journey. Find Rockbrook Camera, 1 block south of 168th and West Center in Omaha, 70th and Pioneers in Lincoln, and at rockbrookcamera.com. That's rockbrookcamera.com. Discover or rediscover your love of photography today at Rockbrook Camera. Great photography begins here.
Okay, round 2. Name something that's not boring.
A laundry? Ooh, a book club. Computer solitaire, huh?
Ah, oh, sorry, we were looking for Chumba Casino. That's right, ChumbaCasino.com has over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
And I question a lot of this stuff all the time about these crafts out there, you know. And then why not Why not just make them round like this, like the saucer shapes? Why not make them like this and just be done with it, right? Or do you get? I know you're with our bombers, you get less drag and it's less detectable now. You know, they can actually fly up up there and you know, they're undetectable, right? So if they have that technology to make something like this, you know, just go ahead and throw it out there. We're seeing this. Somebody saw this up close. Somebody definitely saw this up close, you know, and how are they going to, you know, not react to it? And how are they not going to post it on social media, right? Like we have now. Everything that you guys see out there, it's on social media, right? We do everything that we do, we post it right away, which is great because I'm glad that we have that in order for you guys to see exactly what is being shown out there, right? So, you know, I even talked about it on one of my podcasts that, of course, is on Patreon. You guys didn't get to hear it. That's on there now. There's a couple of free stuff on Patreon too, so you don't necessarily have to buy it, but you can catch some of our free stuff that's there as well. You know, and actually I talked about crop circles, you know, and what they were about and why they were made, and why aren't they talking in the direct dialect language that we speak today when they make a crop circle, right? If you're going to talk to me, you know, like just like Terry was saying, we can now communicate with our phones, right? We can communicate with our phones and you can talk to it. It'll actually translate it for you, right? So we have that already. I mean, why not? Why make a circle like this, right? Why not just spell out a word for me if you can, if you're extraterrestrial, or if you're way past that, past our brains, you know, where you know, it's like, in other words, even if you're past our intelligence, you still know what 1 + 1 is, right? You know, give us some simple math here, and let us know, you know, how you're going to speak and talk to us, you know, in signs, right? Like in the movie Signs, right? So these are what I talked about on Patreon, the crop circles. You know, I know I jumped to this because it doesn't make sense that what is human made and what is extraterrestrial made, right? So you would figure if these things were as intelligent as they are now, and we know they are, but if you're going to communicate with us, hey, communicate with me right? And I talked about it, like how Close Encounters did, right? So they all did that, right, in order to communicate. So why not communicate with us that way? I mean, and why make these crafts like this TR-3B that we just saw? Tonight, you know, when Terry comes back on here, we're going to show another video of a. So I don't know if you guys saw the movie The Middle. I'm sure you guys already seen it. I'm glad you've seen it. So there's this scene in there of in Pecos, New Mexico, right? Elizabeth Jeffries. Actually, that is my sister. So she had told me that story even before I became a filmmaker, even before I became a ufologist, even before all that. She's always told me that story, right? And then when I became a ufologist and a filmmaker, I said, you know what? We have to get that story. We have to get that story. And you know what? It worked out well for the film The Middle. But, you know, I was actually laying in bed last night. Wasn't thinking about anything, you know, we're just watching our regular shows on whatever channel, Hulu's and everything like that. She starts sending me messages on, we do Marco Polo, right? That's what we do. It's simple. So she starts telling me, hey man, I'm seeing this craft. It's out there and you need to see this. So she sent me the video, and this was a live Marco Polo, right? That we started doing. So I am going to show you this video, how it happened and as it unfolded, right? So this is going to be it. You're going to see her. She's like talking to me. So here we go. Let's watch this real quick.
Donald, I wish you could see there's just a big old white light in the sky and it's moving. Can you see that? I don't know what that is. All the lights were flickering on all the stars, but that's when it's been moving. It's a trip. It's just got like a white glow around it. Oh, and it's fading out. It's completely almost faded out. Oh shit. That is bizarre. It's almost gone. Oh, I can't see it now. Holy shit. that was weird. Well, I don't know. Hopefully you can take a copy of this.
So that was in real time. She was actually, it showed live when she was sharing it to me on Marco Polo, right? So, and it's not, it's, you know, she lives in Pecos, New Mexico, right? 1 acre land. You know, everybody's kind of separated from each other. It's beautiful skies out there at night. You can see the Milky Way. You can see every single star in the sky. I mean, I wish I lived there again, you know, but, and she says, man, you could see everything out there in the sky. So, and she started showing this to me as it was happening, you know, because I want you guys to know that just because my sister was on my film, that we were FOS, right? And we're not. It's these are things that actually happened, and she's got a lot more stories, a lot of things that have happened to her there on that property, you know, of crafts that have been around there. You know, she said orbs have come up to her windows at night, you know, when she's asleep, because out there, man, you don't need air conditioning at night. You can actually sleep with the windows open, right? And she said one night she saw this cube come down and close to her window, and it was illuminating some weird colors to her, you know, and you start thinking, oh man, girl, what you smoking, right? But no, it's she says, no, man, I was dead asleep, and something, I heard like whispers. She says, I can hear whispers coming out, and then when I open my eyes, I see this thing kind of prisming, making these weird designs in my window, right? So, you know, that's how you know that, you know, she's not full of crap. I know she's not, you know, because she wouldn't be telling me these stories if she was, you know, because she knows how sincere I am on these extraterrestrial sightings and things like that. So actually, Ani Ball broke it down for me. You want to come back on, Terry? All right. So Ani Ball broke it down for me. So, and it's just a small part of it that he was able to. It's kind of hard to see, but we'll show that right now.
It is Ryan here, and I have a question for you. What do you do when you win? Like, are you a fist pumper, a woohooer, a hand clapper, a high fiver? I kind of like the high five, but if you want to hone in on those winning moves, check out Chumba Casino. At ChumbaCasino.com, choose from hundreds of social casino style games for your chance to redeem serious cash prizes. There are new game releases weekly, plus free daily bonuses. So don't wait. Start having the most fun ever at ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
Yeah. So you can see that it had some kind of, it was huge, and it was lit up. Pretty bright. Pretty bright out there.
You can see a nucleus to it as well with his filtration. That's the one thing you want to look for is a nucleus, the center heart of things. You can usually see some things you can actually find. Some of these spheres, we call them a one-seater bubble, but when it's a cube, this is kind of a new thing. This is something, well, it's not a new thing. It's something that's probably been around forever, but it's something that we're just starting to learn and notice. The very first one I'd ever seen, I was up at one of the snow parks that's on the way up to Paulina Peak, and my grandson just happened to catch it on his Apple phone, and of course he's a teenage kid, so I never got it sent to me. If you ask, they never. You could buy them whatever you want, and they won't send you whatever you're asking for. Wow. So I took him out for a burger, and he still didn't send it to me. You know, the price of a burger, of course, but he's got that phone somewhere in a drawer, and it's somewhere on memory, and I still don't have the information I was wanting to bring to everybody today. So luckily your sister had it. Yeah. And on top of that,
so she said the next day she showed it to her best friend at work. Her best friend's into ufology. You know, they wear our shirts all the time anyway. She says, check this out. what I caught last night. So then she sent the video to her. She showed it to her friend. Her friend showed it to her own husband, and then her husband says, "Hey, wait a minute! Somebody just posted that here in New Mexico, around the Santa Fe area, that they saw it as well." So, and here we go. I'm going to show you the actual snapshot. So this is an actual group site, and it's called UFO New Mexico. So you have to sign up to get into this private group, and they actually posted this at the same time when she had witnessed her UFO, right? So, and this is what we try to tell everybody, report it, because somebody else might have seen the same thing, and they know you're not crazy. And no, that's not a balloon, because balloons don't illuminate like that, especially way up there. And then, of course, my sister's footage was at night, and of course, I'm sure if you saw it light up, you would see it light up hers, and then it just dimmed out. So this is why it's important to actually, to get these all the information that you can and report it, because then we can put two and two together. Right. And then we can actually say, okay, look, she saw this, and then somebody else saw this. So if you guys go to UFO New Mexico, there's a group site there. So if you want to sign up for that, I don't know if you have to be part of New Mexico, but really, in reality, ufology is ufology, right? And this is what we're all looking at, and they have a lot of sightings there that happen in New Mexico. When I lived in New Mexico, man, I saw so many UFOs out there. It's unbelievable, because I used to go to work at 4:00 in the morning. I was a truck driver for Coca-Cola. Yeah. So I used to drive for them for 4 years when I lived up there. And, I saw a lot of strange stuff happening up in the sky out there. So there's a lot of activity there in New Mexico that, people just don't get to experience and notice, because there's a lot of people not saying nothing. Now that they have this group out there, now people can actually, go out there and post their photos and videos of things that happen. We tried giving you a lot of information here tonight. I know we bombshelled a lot of it to you, but because we were trying to push all this as much as we could, because I've been busy with the film, and I don't know when our next one is going to be here on our next podcast. But as far as Terry and I, but we're going to get this next podcast. I think it's going to be this weekend with the new guy that we're going to talk about, Atlantis. So we'll be talking about having that podcast probably about 7 p.m. Probably Saturday night. If you guys stick around for that, don't forget to watch that live podcast that we're going to have. And we're going to try to just give you as much information as we can on what he has on Atlantis, right? And don't forget, you can be a part of Alien Strand Disclosure Project. We're always out there to help you guys, and we have so many members out there on ASTP to try to get things out there as much as possible. So, I know Terry's trying to he's having some issues trying to get his computer there going, but we're already coming to the closing out, of the show. I'm going to get him on real quick. So this is the podcast I'm talking about. Don't forget, it's going to be this Saturday with Mr. Dwayne Belcher. Watch this. It's going to be about 7 p.m. on Saturday. Be a great conversation I'm going to have with him. Hope you guys enjoyed today's podcast as well. We try to give you as much information on things that are happening at UAP Weekly, right? Because this does happen during the week. So, Terry, you got anything to say before we close out?
I got a couple things to say. First off, Nikon, you know what I'm about to say, don't you? I say it every single time we see each other. Nikon, I am Nikon, okay? I've got more Nikons than I can hold in my hand, but my people at ASTP, we all need Nikons in our hands, okay? Work some kind of deal with us. Let's work this out, okay? I'm going to keep advertising you because I believe you guys are the best in photography and videography, and this is the way to go for a good ufologist, to have something that's tangible and can get good evidence for the world and disclosure. So Nikon, let's talk. Okay, you can contact me, or you can contact Mr. Ledesma, and we will start working things out to where your product is shown all around the world and showcased for ufology and paranormal. The other thing I've got to say is that your disclosure starts with your story and respect. If you're somebody that really wants to get your story out, come see us at Alien Strand Disclosure Project, and we're going to make sure that you get to tell your story, and you're going to be respected for doing so. Okay? So again, your story starts, or your disclosure starts with your story and respect. Everybody, I'm Terry Lynch, I'm Terry Lynch. We're in the middle. You guys have a good night.
All right. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. He's trying to put the other computer together, so I get it. So my mind separates a lot too when I try to do it. Thank you guys for being watching today's show. I really appreciate it. Ryan Keaton, I appreciate you. And we have a Facebook users out there. It doesn't have your name, but I tell you what, next time if you want to catch us live, go to Alien Strand Podcast there on Facebook only, or on YouTube, and then you could type up and then your name will pop up on screen. Okay, so just kind of remember that if you're on a group, a site, your name won't pop up unless you've done StreamYard before. If you've done StreamYard before with me, your name will pop up. It's just because it's the disclosure kind of stuff for you and putting your name out there. Some sites are very strict about things like that. But, I thank you guys for watching today's show. I hope you guys enjoyed it. There was a lot of different things to talk about, but we threw it all in one together. We mixed it all in a big basket and made a great stew, right? UFO stew. So anyway, you guys have yourselves good day. Have yourselves a good evening. And have yourselves a good night.
Okay, round two. Name something that's not boring.
A laundry? Ooh, a book club. Computer solitaire, huh?
Ah, sorry, we were looking for Chumba Casino. That's right, ChumbaCasino.com has over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.